Thanks for having me. We want to look back a little bit at the evolution of communications here because it set us up for the impact it has in the COVID world we find ourselves in right now. And it's always kind of evolved in a bit of a cycle where the technology takes a leap ahead. And of course, it started with email. It was a bit of a wild west at first, but folks jumped on email. They were able to communicate quickly, efficiently. A lot of business moved to email. Then the regulations have to catch up, and the next cycle is making sure supervision and controls are put in place on the email communications that now businesses move to. As the speed of that increased, along comes instant messaging, which was even faster, instant. Once again, supervision and technology controls had to catch up a little bit to make sure they can keep pace with another wave of change. The final stages involve tools like the Refinitiv messenger tools, there's Bloomberg market tools. Now there's a wave of collaboration tools out in the market. It started with, you think back to the Yahoo and the AIM days, and now there's Slack and Teams and other controls that all about getting folks to connect to one another quickly and more efficiently, but also bringing about the challenges. So in one sense, it made it very easy for us to adapt to this new kind of work from home model in the COVID days. It's also brought a lot of challenges in and of itself. So we're going to talk a little bit about the way the impact happened to those challenges. With that, Vince, you want to take your comments here?
Yeah, thanks, John. Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. I would say, yes, the evolution path of e-communications in the last few years has been fast and tangible, I think, in all areas of our society. On a daily basis, we exchange more data, we use more tools, we do it faster than 2 years ago, and this impacts all of us, despite all our generations. And the financial community is not immune to this, and actually entirely reflects those trends. If I look at what's today on a meeting or on a sales desk, the drivers of the change, the vectors are clear. We exchange a lot more in terms of volume of unstructured information. The velocity, the speed at which we exchange information is definitely different. We can do it in a few seconds compared to a few years ago, sharing key information with clients, counterparties. But also the variety of the tools we can use today to collaborate is incredibly much better, with organizations and individuals leveraging social media platforms and enterprise systems. And there is actually, to your point on email, there is research on the market predicting that at some point collaboration services can replace email in the coming future. And while security has always been a paramount in our sector and industry, mobile access to those collaboration tools became a key topic in recent years. And I would say today even more, with the concept of work from home and the virtual environment being pushed in. Now, as the use of this multitude of electronic communication tools, also available remotely, becomes core and critical to many organizations. This generates multiple risks and additional risks to be managed in an already highly regulated financial market. There is simply more to be archived, more job to be done to define the boundaries, the perimeter of the tools we authorize in our organization. And the positive side of this is that more data means that we can analyze, that we can try to extract value, proactively understanding and detecting patterns in behavior, and preventing misconduct and improve internal policies. So to come to a conclusion, I would say yes, electronic communications are key to financial markets community. Their growth, expansion, and evolution cannot be neglected, because it's already reshaping some important components of the value chain of financial markets. And working from home instead, because electronic communications and collaboration systems fill the gap that we were brought into from some distance.